welcome to my channel. My name is Talena. Today I'm going to be filming a every book I read in February video. It's pretty exciting. I got through 8 books this month, which is a pretty decent amount and kind of a good variety. I got some books that I hated and I got some books that I absolutely love, so very excited to get into that. And then I also have a very, very, very ambitious March TBR that we're going to talk about after this. But first, I started February off with Once You're Mine. This book, I don't know, it's just a random book I got off of Amazon. Sounded interesting. Stalker romance. Hey, don't judge me. Love them. However, I have not thought about this book since I finished it. And while I was reading it, I was like, okay, it's okay. Like, it's a decent time, but there was nothing holding me to this story. And I literally haven't thought about it since. And when I finished it, I debated on if I should read the next book. So I'm glad I didn't, because I haven't thought about it at all. But let me grab my reading journal. I did give this one 3 stars just because it was a decent time. I was interested, but there was nothing crazy about this that made me want to continue it or wanted me to continue the series. Next up, on a polar opposite scale, I finally read The Love Hypothesis. I have owned this book for literally years and years, and I just never read it. I was just nervous, honestly, because Ali Hazelwood writes a lot of like STEM romances. I wasn't sure if I'd be interested in that, but honestly, I loved it. I love her writing. I've also read another book by her this month, and then I've read Check and Mate and Bride. So I'm making my way through her list, but I really like this. I gave it 5 stars. They are so cute. I just really liked it. On that note, I also read a book that I've owned for years, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked. I have owned this book since I was in 8th grade, I think, which is insane. I finally got to it because it's very popular, and then the whole Throne of the Fallen, Throne of Secrets series is coming out, which is like interconnected with this. So I wanted to read this first, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.5 stars. This is one where I was, just barely interested. I noticed that a lot with me in books. Like, there's some where I'm just barely interested, but it was enough to keep me interested. And so far, I've read 2. The second one's later on in this month, but this one is my favorite so far. It was just the most interesting, the most intriguing. I did really like the plot. And I have my first video. I gave all my thoughts on this. I read that, so go watch that if you want more in-depth thoughts. While I was reading The Love Hypothesis and Kingdom of the Wicked, I did a reread of Fourth Wing through the audiobook, and I loved it. 5 stars. 5 stars first time around, 5 stars second time around. I do really, really, really like this book, and I'm honestly disappointed with how the series has gone so far. I didn't like Iron Flame that much. I'm currently rereading it. I'm still at a part that I like, but I'm nervous for the 3rd book. But talk about that later. But I do love every second of this book. This is one of the best fantasy books I think that's ever been written. I highly recommend this to anybody. It's so good. After that, I have my biggest flop of this month, which was Deep End. This is the Probably Smut Special Edition. I did not like this at all. Not at all, which is so sad because I was really excited for it because I just finished Love Hypothesis when this came out. I was really excited for it. This is about, I'm trying to get better at descriptions, guys. I'm trying my hardest. It's about boy and a girl. They both, one dives and one swims at Stanford, and they're both also like more of a side plot in this one, but they're both like involved in STEM. And there was nothing to these 2 characters. Nothing at all. The only thing that I know about the girl is that she has a mental block with a certain dive because she got injured while she did it, and she can't do it again. So she has that mental block, which, good plot. That's it. That is all we know about her, besides also that the 2 of them are into kinky stuff. But it's not. Might I just say. Everybody who has read it honestly agrees with this opinion I've seen so far. There was no chemistry between them. There was no, like, background to the characters. There was no depth to them. And also, I'm a hater of ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends of books that are, like, super involved. And, the ex-girlfriend should have been the love interest in this book with how much she was brought up and how much she was made a problem. I hated it. So I gave this one 1.5 stars, which is one of the lowest ratings I've ever given book. Next up, I read book 2 in the whole Kingdom of the Wicked series. I gave this one 3 stars. This one was pretty good, but I felt like the entire book we were just leading up to this one point that happened at the end, and I felt like it was so underwhelming. Extremely underwhelming. But with how like the last page ended off, I'm very interested to go into the third book, but this was just, it wasn't too incredible, but I was interested and I do want to continue it, so do it that way you will. Next up, we have my favorite book of February, and it's so on brand because it is the cutest little love story ever. I read First Time Caller. I gave this one 5 stars. I have so many underlines in this book, and I haven't done that in forever. See, this page has 2. These characters, they deserve each other. My Goodreads review literally says they made me believe in love. Like, they were so cute, and I don't know, I just ate this one up. It was so sweet, so adorable. Really glad I read it in like the whole month of love because it was just so, you know, Valentine's coded. I don't know. I loved it. Super cute. Highly recommend it. They were so cute. Last up, I started the whole Devil's Night series. I read Corrupt. I gave this one 3 stars. I went into this series completely blind, and this one hits me more in the second book, which I'll talk about in my next wrap up. But this one, it was okay. It's not what I expected at all. I thought this whole series was like, not that it like deters my opinion, but I thought it was gonna be a whole why choose situation, and it's not. So I don't know, I thought it was gonna be like one of those sorts of storylines, but this one is actually just about Michael and Rika. They were, it starts off with you're trying to figure out like it's a past and present timeline, and you're trying to figure out what happened in the past that she did so wrong to Michael and his friends. She put all of his friends in jail, not him, and you're trying to figure out what they did and why they hate her and she hates them. And honestly, like, I liked that plot. It was very interesting to go past present, and the actual mystery was very satisfying to me. I thought it was pretty good, but the rest of the book kind of fell flat for me. Just, it wasn't incredible, and I thought that this book, sorry, someone's driving by. I don't know, I just honestly thought I would like this book a lot more than I did, but it was okay. It was decent. I gave it 3 stars. Next, we're going to talk about my extremely ambitious March TBR. To start this off, since we were just talking about it, I have the entire Devil's Night series on my March TBR. I'm currently through Hideaway. I'm 50%, so I'm definitely going to finish that, obviously, this month, but we'll see if I can get through 1 or 2 of these massive chunkers. Hopefully all of it, but they are huge. Look at that. That's massive. How many pages is it? Around 730. That's not too bad, especially I'm reading it on the Kindle. It goes pretty fast. But yeah, I would love to get this whole series wrapped up. Next up, I have Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I'm currently reading Iron Flame, listening to the audiobook. I need to get through this because my hold on Libby for this is about to end. But I'm right at the point where I feel like the story turns around and I don't like it anymore. Like, this is a reread for me. I did not really like it the first time around, but like, I like the first half of this, and the second half is kind of extremely boring to me until you get to the very end, and I was like, so I'm very curious of my thoughts of how I'm gonna feel the second time around, but I'm very excited that I actually now have the third book to go into. I'm really nervous for this because I didn't like half of this very much, so I'm nervous for how I'll feel about this one, but I am pretty excited. It's gotten pretty big, like a pretty high rating so far, so that gives me high hopes, but we'll see how I feel. Next up, I think I'm going to bring this to work with me tomorrow and start it, Kingdom of the Fear, the third and final book of the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, and then I can jump into Throne of the Fallen later on, take a little break from this, but I'm excited for this. From the way the second book ended off, I'm very curious of what's going to happen and what this whole book is about, because I feel like this could have been wrapped up in 2 books for sure. So we'll see how I feel, but I'm excited. Next, I'm so excited for this one, and I really hope I can get to it this month, as Heavenly Bodies. I've heard nothing but incredible things about this book, and I haven't read the whole back because this is one I want to go into blind, but from the little like blurb on the back, it's the first new book in a dazzling new romantasy series that blends Greek mythology and shadow magic with a tantalizing enemies to lovers romance that will rewrite the stars. That sounds incredible to me. And again, I've literally heard nothing but great things about this. I also have the Fairy Loot edition way up there, you can't see, but it's stunning. I'm really excited for this. I think that this will be a very good book for me. last two, these books are more of hopefuls for me to get to this month, but I'm not quite sure that I'll be able to. But first is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I have read just one of her books so far, actually. I read The Nightingale. I loved it. It was so good. And this one, I want to read it in the wintertime because, you know, Winter Garden. And oh, there's a bookmark. Nice. We're coming up on the end of winter now. So happy about that, but I really want to get this finished before spring and summertime. So last but not least, this is a very exciting one for me. I finally want to read an Abby Jimenez book. I want to get through all of her books she's read and get up to date with everybody. That's how I feel about Ali Hazelwood too. I just want to read all of their books, get up to date. I've heard, again, nothing but incredible things about every single book that she has written. But I'm so excited for this. This one might end up being a read for next month because I have so many books to get to. But I'm hopeful that I can get to it this month. We will see. With that, that is everything that I read in February and everything that I hope to get to in March. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. I've been having so much fun making these videos. It's so fun and goofy. Oh, I forgot to mention, I got a little tripod stand, so I'm for real now. Come on, you should subscribe just because of that. I'm so excited for this. I've been wanting to make videos for so long, so this is just so fun for me. Anyways, thank you again for watching. I hope you guys all have a great week.